Good morning, everybody. The PlayStation 5 reveal event was yesterday. They showed the console. They showed a lot of games. There's a lot of really good stuff there. New Ratchet & Clank, Horizon, mother flippin' Demon Souls. But of course, the one game that we have to talk about it. We need to talk about this game, and we knew it was coming, and that's of course Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village. I had a little bit of an inkling watching the trailer. I was like, wait a second. I think this might be Resident Evil, especially because you could see like an umbrella symbol earlier in the trailer. Then of course, once I saw just the title, Village, I was like, those are fucking Roman numerals. Let's freaking go. And of course, there was a lot of rumors circulating around this game that it's going to be a big departure, that there might be ghosts and werewolves and vampires. They're getting kind of gothic. It's a very gothic setting. You have the village, you have the big castle, and I was getting almost like Castlevania vibes, but more than anything, I was getting a lot of Resident Evil 4 vibes. Just looking at the village, like there's a castle, like those are classic. Those are Resident Evil 4 staples, and just like the villagers' attire and the landscape, I'm just like, this can't be the same village, can it? The next game after Resident Evil 8, we're already looking that far ahead, is supposed to be the Resident Evil 4 remake. So I don't know if that's all part of the big plan. Maybe this ties in somehow. We'll just have to wait and find out. But there is a lot to talk about with this trailer. Ethan's back, Chris is back, directly tying into Resident Evil 7. It's like a direct sequel. So like Ethan, he's going to be the main protagonist in this game for both 7 and 8 in back-to-back games. That doesn't happen very often in the Resident Evil series. So Ethan is a little bit more important than we think. And I do suggest you guys go and check out my Deep Cuts video on Resident Evil 7 called What is Ethan Hiding? Where we delve a little bit deeper into Ethan and his possible motivations, and maybe things aren't quite as clear-cut as they seem. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff going on in this trailer that might indicate as to what the story might be. And then, of course, there's also a developer message that was posted on the Capcom YouTube channel later on, which also has some really interesting stuff. So let's dive in first to the trailer, and let's discuss some things. His story comes to a close. So I imagine there must be talking about Ethan. Either Ethan or Chris. But I don't know if they'll end Chris's story. Chris is such a fan-favorite character.
But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bush is empty.
So one cool thing to notice here is that obviously this game gets very gothic, werewolves and all that stuff. But if you look right by the window, there's like a string of garlic. There's all this garlic hanging by the window. Vampires? That's a possibility.
Determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of Mother's grasp.
Things are looking super run down. Again, getting a lot of Resident Evil 4 vibes from this in that village. And this person walking around, also one of the things that they're saying is there might be a big emphasis on light and using a flashlight. And then, who is this reading a story? People say that this is possibly Mia from Resident Evil 7. Little too early to tell. You can't really see her face. But that would tie into kind of like the bigger picture of what might be going on here.
It's just a local tale.
You're really into that stuff.
Quit being so paranoid.
And as soon as I saw this, and just like just the visual style of it, and you know, you can see that's most likely Ethan and his hand. I was like, oh shit, this is Resident Evil. Got very Resident Evil 7 vibes from it, and he can take a shot like a goddamn champ. It was weird here too in the trailer. The frame rate here really dips. It's like, what is going on?
They're coming. Who is?
So of course, Resident Evil, as much as it's about horror, there's always action as well. That scene is very interesting because it's like you're trapped in this little shack, you know, trying to, you know, just protect yourself against like an outside threat, which is also something that was really first explored in Resident Evil 4, right? Just like the opening of that game. Oh, okay. This symbol right here. So as I was saying, and there's a developer message posted up on YouTube, and they showed this image, and they said that there's a lot of important meaning in this image, and it's very like relevant to the story. And they were even questioning whether they even wanted to show this or not. So obviously, it's something that's very, very important. And you can see in the very center there, it looks like what appears to be a fetus, but it's got some deformities. It doesn't look quite right. Then there's also like crow wings and a crow's nest. So that's a big hint. And what a lot of people are speculating is that Ethan and Mia may have had a child, but just, you know, given their exposure to the mold and with Evelyn and all of that stuff, that the child may have become deformed, may have been infected, and that makes sense, given this deformed-looking fetus. That would definitely all kind of line up. But what would they be doing in this village? Possibly, you know, maybe they had a deformed kid and they're kind of just living and hiding in this random village in the middle of nowhere. I think that's a very strong theory. Of course, all we can really do is theorize and speculate at this point. This is actually not the only time we're gonna see this image in this trailer. Let's move on here. This cool statue. You know, in a lot of Resident Evil games, there's always like statues and statue puzzles. And there's a lot of things in this trailer that make it look like there's a lot of puzzles. Because a lot of the Resident Evil games that I love the most, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, they both had the mansion and the RPD, which really served as puzzles. They were like a gigantic puzzle on their own. They were a character in their own right, and they played such a significant role in those games. And just learning how to solve the whole puzzle and then seeing how fast you can solve that puzzle, seeing if you can break that puzzle. It's such a core part of the Resident Evil experience for me and replaying the games. So if you can just imagine that the village basically serves that purpose and you can just explore the village, that's one thing I would really hope for in this game. Oh, okay. We gotta go back. So you got the statue, and then as we were saying with the fetus, there it is again. But this time it's like drawn in chalk. It's kind of got like the X design pattern from the original image as well. So this is really interesting. And what the hell does it all mean? Who knows? Possibly the people in the village are worshipping the baby. Possibly they're being influenced by the baby. It's too early to tell, but it clearly plays a major role. Oh man, this is a super cool shot. Of course, a trope in Resident Evil games is finding some emblems and sticking them indoors. Looks like that's something we're gonna do here. I love that shot of the castle. Again, going back to that. This trailer's too quick. It's too quick. What do you know? It's a baby. Surprise, surprise. It's not the only time the baby's gonna appear in the trailer, so I think they definitely play a significant role. The lady holding the baby, it's hard to say who exactly that is. I don't know. Maybe it's Mia. That would make sense in the storyline sense of things, but it's very hard to tell in this image. Villagers. I love the look of some of the areas. This lady looks creepy as hell. There's actually some creepy ladies in this trailer, man. There are some creepy ass ladies. Maybe there's going to be some enemies that'll just pursue you through the whole area. Obviously, that was a very big aspect of Resident Evil 2 and 3. Just like a persistent threat that pursues you through the game. Maybe they'll bring that back. Also, this lady, so she pops up several times in the trailer. Though we know we're playing as Ethan, I definitely got the sense that maybe she was another protagonist, maybe a side character. What would be amazing, maybe there are 2 playable characters, a second protagonist. That would be awesome. Another shot of a baby. Not looking super deformed, but, you know, he's under a blanket. Hard to say. Oh, hold up. There's too much going on in this trailer, dude. Too quick cut. There it is again. The symbol with the X, with the cross of the wings, appearing once again. Very interesting. Obviously, it's a huge part of the game because they've showed it several times in the trailer now. Whoa! What was that? Okay, so this is a big one. There's an umbrella sign in the center of these symbols. So Umbrella is clearly involved in what's going on here. Of course they are. Classic Resident Evil. And we haven't seen Umbrella. Like, there is no real there's no real word of Umbrella in Resident Evil 7. They were kind of absent. Obviously, there was at the end there Blue Umbrella with Chris Redfield. But this looks like the classic Umbrella symbol. So we got this lady here. Hard to say exactly what her role is. I feel like she might be controlling some shit behind the scenes. Okay, and I love this entire area. This area looks like it's part of the castle. Just like the lady in the center here, the lady in white, she's dressed in like very old looking attire, which is just awesome. And then the girls in black. First of all, they look like D'Vorah from Mortal Kombat X. What the hell is D'Vorah doing here, dude? But just a quick shot, just a couple seconds earlier than this. See, the girls in black, it looks like they control the insects. It's straight up D'Vorah, dude. But super creepy. There's something super creepy about just the way that they look. And I don't know, man. It's definitely unsettling. If these chicks are going to be pursuing you through the castle, that's definitely terrifying. I love it. Oh, man. So she's probably going to be another villain, but I just love the look and the design of this place. Definitely getting Resident Evil 1 vibes. It almost looks cozy in a way. The big chandelier, I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to explore this area. This is some classic shit. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? Okay, so we know werewolves are in the game. Confirmed, werewolves confirmed. But then jumping off the roof here with the big gigantic hammer, like he's straight out of Resident Evil 5. The executioner is back. So it looks like the werewolves, maybe that is a werewolf. It's not even super clear that it is. They're able to wield weapons. So that's awesome. Yeah, not the first time we've seen a enemy wield a gigantic hammer. Definitely something we've seen in Resident Evil before, but not quite as agile as this. This dude, I love this guy. I think the theory going around online right now is that this guy is possibly going to be a merchant of some kind. It's confirmed that this game is going to have a currency system. It's going to have an inventory system. So this dude, he just looks like a merchant. He also looks like the villain from Men in Black 3, but we got ninjas. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, so obviously in Resident Evil 7, playing as Ethan, he gets his left hand cut off with a chainsaw and then gets sewed back on. And then everything just still works because video games. But look at this! He's losing his left hand again! Ethan's hand just can't catch a break. But it looks like she just swallowed that shit whole. What is going on? She's creepy looking, dude. Super creepy. I love it. I love it. You know what would be awesome? You know what would be crazy if the werewolf turns out to be Ethan or something like that? What if that was Ethan? I'm just talking out of my ass here, but can you imagine? You never know. And just look at the village, dude, and just the landscape with the castle looming overwards. Just, again, very, very much Castlevania. At the village. So this game is actually called Resident Evil Village. Even though it is Resident Evil 8. But it's a cool name. I like the logo. I cannot wait. And of course, once I saw that, I'm just like, oh my god! It's Resident Evil 8. Let's go. Oh my god. And then, of course, the big payoff at the end of the trailer. We got Chris. Chris Redfield is back. And it's confirmed that this game takes place a couple years, or a few years after the events of Resident Evil 7. And we saw Chris at the end of Resident Evil 7. And boy, in those 3 years, my dude got thick. He's... What happened to him, dude? Like, Chris in Resident Evil 7, he was so slim. So freaking slender, dude. But now he's like... He's looking like Resident Evil 5 Chris with a bit of a, like, mean edge to him, you know? And of course, he confirms that it's Ethan. And who's he shooting here? So, possibly, again, with the storyline, maybe it's Mia. It's really hard to tell. I don't know if they would show Mia getting killed right there in the trailer. But it would make sense, right? Because they're trying to play Chris up as like a bad guy here, but Chris being like the anti-bioterrorism hero that he is, wouldn't really fit his character to just kill some innocent person. So he's clearly here for a reason. He's going after Ethan for a reason, and it's most likely to do with the infected baby. You know, obviously that baby, once it grows up, once it grows a little bit even, just being infected would probably pose a gigantic threat. And that's Chris's line of work, man. That's his call, you know, anti-bioterrorism. So that would make sense.
Why?
He does not give a fuck. And it is coming in 2021. So also it says it's coming out tentatively in 2021. There's a chance it might slip into 2022. But so far with Resident Evil, Capcom's had a pretty good track record of revealing the game and then not releasing it like way later on down the road. Like Resident Evil 7 was first revealed and released within 1 year, same with 2 and 3. However, both Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, neither of those games were really that long ago. And, you know, I know there's multiple studios working on Resident Evil, but who knows if it's really going to hit this 2021 window. Again, I mentioned the frame rate in one of those scenes just not looking super hot. Maybe it needs a little bit more time in the oven. I'm willing to wait as long as it takes to make the game good. You know, one thing that they were saying with this new crazy different direction for Resident Evil 8, that it might piss off some long-term fans, right? There's not a single zombie in that entire trailer, but you get werewolves and possibly other kind of different gothic or supernatural elements to the game, which is a huge departure. But I've said it before, I'll say it again, I always appreciate when a game developer is willing to take a big risk with one of their franchises, and Resident Evil has been able to reinvent himself time and time again, and it's really worked out for the series and its longevity, and they're continuing that trend here, and I cannot wait to play it. And I'm going to give it every benefit of the doubt. Nothing in that trailer that I saw looks bad, except for that frame rate. But let me know what you guys think, because obviously this is a bold new direction, and it's different from anything else we've gotten from the series before. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Some people will always, you know, be purists and want what's classic to that series. But again, I respect companies that don't just do the same old song and dance year after year after year, spoon feeding you the same shit. Give me something new, give me something different, and that's what Capcom is doing. So I respect it. I'm very excited. Thanks so much for watching this video, you guys. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Please comment if you have an opinion on Resident Evil 8. Thanks so much. Peace.